Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new Q&A video.
It's not used.
It's brand new out of the box. You can smell the newness. This is for the month of September 2015, and I'm sure someone out there will be very quick to say, but Steven, isn't it December? What? Is it? I had no idea. Yes, we're behind. We're a little bit behind, and I understand that, but we're catching up. Things are going good. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background, too. I mean, sometimes people are like, you know, vlogs aren't, you're not releasing 10 vlogs a day. Well, I physically can't, but also, like, there's a lot of other stuff going on. Like, we got a bunch of content for Saturday in December done. Like, GTA Online is coming back. I've been working on the next mini golf video.
There's emergencies that happened.
There's been a few emergencies that happened. Anyone that saw our Twitter, or my Twitter, will know that the some crap water that came in our ceiling, courtesy of our lovely neighbors. But yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on, so stay with us. We're working on bringing stuff out to you guys, and vlogs will catch up. So, these are the questions that you asked, I would say a month ago, but it's actually been a little longer. But in the July Q&A, the first question is from Ohmanitsbeau. I love that guy. What is your opinion on students using pop culture in their art projects?
I actually had a student draw some Undertale stuff yesterday.
So it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm assuming the question is basically like, does it bother you whenever people are referencing pop culture stuff, or do you want them to kind of create their own stuff?
Yes and no. It kind of depends on the project. Like, you shouldn't always copy someone else's stuff. I mean, you should always change it in some way, like recontextualize it. As
opposed to just straight up drawing.
Here is a picture from something.
Like if someone just drew like the stereotypical like Mario doing the thing.
Yeah, it's still good practice, like for color theory or just line and trying to render things. Mm-hmm. But like you should strive to work towards original things.
What are some of the different pop culture references that students generally make in your projects? I know you've come home and said that there's a lot of Doctor Who, but
not lately. Last year and the year before. This year I had a student do some Dragon Ball stuff. I saw some Naruto stuff. I have two girls that keep doing a bunch of Undertale stuff lately. What's another big thing lately?
Game of Thrones?
No, not really.
Okay. I'm naming things that I assume are big. The Walking Dead?
Not lately.
I don't know anything about pop culture.
Someone, do you know the art piece, Piss Christ?
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
For you guys who don't know, it was a photograph? Or was it a print? Pretty sure it was a photograph of a crucifix in pee.
Yeah, but it was a real thing. It's just they took a photo of it. Yeah, it was a crucifix in a jar of pee.
And the person was trying to make a statement, and one of my students remembered that from Art 1, and she recontextualized it because we were doing surrealism. Mm-hmm. And so she put Stewie on it, and then just colored the whole thing like yellow.
That's an interesting idea. Next question is from TheGuyWithGame. Never mind. Is it hard to take care of a cat? What do you dislike about taking care of cats? Is it hard to take care of a cat?
No.
I feel like cats are probably easier to take care of than dogs. I think comparing the two, there's probably pros and cons to each in terms of like how easy it is, but generally cats are extremely independent creatures, and like they just do their own thing.
I mean, you still need to train them to an extent. Like, we've really tried to work with our cats to get them to not do things like jump on the counter.
Yeah, I mean, the idea, because there's some people that are cat owners or otherwise, and they're just like, well, you can't train a cat, and that's not even remotely true. Like, you can train a cat. Cats are certainly more, I guess, a little more free-willed than dogs. And
I do what I want.
Yeah, I mean, they still kind of do what they want, but the idea that you can't train a cat is bizarre and not even remotely true. Like, you can train cats, and we've done our best. As far as
difficulty?
Yeah, as far as the thing that we dislike most about taking care of cats,
cleaning the litter box, like cleaning it. Like, scooping it isn't bad, but like scrubbing it.
Yeah, I mean, the pro for cats using a litter box and not having to go to the bathroom outside, unless you have outdoor cats, in which case they just do whatever. But for indoor cats, the pro is that you don't have to take them outside. They are completely independent. They know where the the bathroom is. If you move the litter box, they'll find it and use it.
Most cats.
Most cats. So they're really smart, they're independent, and that's a good thing. The downside is the poop is in your house, which means that you have to deal with that. Personally, I think I would rather just occasionally go in there, put the poop into a bag, and then get rid of it, as opposed to the cat's like, please let me out, and then I have to like go walk the cat. So I prefer that, but that's probably the big thing. For me in particular, and this is not for most people, but for what I do, having the cats suddenly be vocal for whatever reason when I'm doing a recording. There's so many recordings where someone will leave a timestamp and they'll be like, I heard a cat. And I do my best to get rid of that in post, and I usually catch them, but sometimes I miss them. And it's gotten a lot better over the years, but occasionally, you know, one of them will wake up and say, you know what, I'm hungry.
It's time to talk.
And I need to let you know that I'm hungry. So they'll go over there and stand next to their bowl and meow or whine, and that's a problem for what I do, but that's about it. I mean, cats are relatively easy to take care of, and they are super independent. So you can just kind of go, do your thing, cat, and the cat will be like, I will. Next question is from PkTwig16, who asks, should YouTubers hold on to raw footage? They specifically asked about being a vlogger, like should you hold on to your old footage? And it really depends on what you're doing. I mean, the best way I found to approach it is whenever you are editing stuff or whatever, say, am I ever going to use this again? Like for vlogs, I'm not. I'm just not. I'm going to use the finalized versions that I've exported that you guys get, and I use that for like the half-year videos and the fan favorites. But otherwise, I don't repurpose that footage for anything. So I ditch it, because otherwise holding on to it would be crazy. The only times I've ever really held on to vlog footage was like if I suspect that there could be some copyright problems for something. I have an example actually. Whenever we went to E3 and I played the Star Fox Zero demo, when I presented that to everyone, I play Star Fox music behind it because it's fitting and it makes a lot of sense to use that. But whenever I did it, I wasn't 100% sure if it would be okay in terms of the content ID. So I made the version with the Star Fox music, put it online, and it was fine. But just in case, somewhere down the road, Nintendo decides, you know what, that's Star Fox music, put that in Content ID, and my video gets claimed, then I exported a separate vlog where there's no music playing. So then I could put whatever music I want in there later and re-upload it if I chose to do so. So that kind of stuff is the only time I really do that. I have another example. Yeah, what's that?
Weddings. Like, because you kept all the footage and was like, here, have the raw footage.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's, you mean our wedding?
No, like Steph and Steve's.
Oh, yeah, that whenever I've, like, given people footage of an event or something. Yeah, there's been times I've done that, too, but it's very, very selective. Once again, you just have to ask yourself if you're ever going to use it again. Next question is from Tiffanie Knight, who asks, how did you decide on Let's Meet Back Tomorrow, Shall We, as your sign-off? In particular, she said that her and her husband had been making the journey, and they finally got to the vlogs where we started doing that. I say we, but at the time I was in college, so
I wasn't part of the we.
You weren't part of that. She wanted to know, was there any sort of a discussion, or,
Didn't she just sort of start?
Yeah, and actually leading up to that, there was a few other things that I had said at the end, and I remember vaguely, because this has been many years ago, but I remember kind of signing off in different ways, and then people in the comments being like, don't know about that, don't know about that. And then one day I just out of nowhere just said, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we? And I guess either the response was good or at least neutral, because I kept doing it and I just never stopped. But there was never any sort of like deliberation or anything like,
Let's think of an end slogan.
Yeah, it was not that kind of situation at all. In fact, most of the stuff for the history of the vlog has always been very impromptu, even down to titles appearing on screen. It was just something I did the first vlog on day 0. I was like, this might be neat.
Just keep doing it.
Which font should I choose? That one looks good. And then I just kept doing it for over 2,000 days, but it was never something where I sat down and was like, we have to weigh our options or anything like that. Next question is from Weps. How do you decide when to upload what memorable moment? Is there a pattern, or do you just choose at random? Do you know?
You kind of are like, well, we haven't had a memorable moment from Skyrim in a while. This one.
That's
nope. This one. That was pretty good.
That's kind of how it works. Yes. Actually, if you, and this is going to blow this might blow some people's minds, and they're going to go check it. If you go to the memorable moments playlist, at least the third one, the most recent one, and you start looking, you'll notice a pattern, and it's because I use memorable moments, the playlist, to decide what gets posted next. So what I'll do is I'll say, the last one posted was Kirby's Dream Course. Then I'll go down to the list where the last Kirby's Dream Course one was.
See what the one before was?
And, well,
after?
See what the one after is. It'll be like, oh, it's GTA 5. It's time for another GTA 5. So actually, we've been doing like the same sequence of like 15 games for a long time. And every once in a while, something will happen and some, like I mess it up. And then it'll be like 3 or 4 months that we haven't had a memorable moment from a specific game, and then I'll catch it and I'll be like, oh, oops, we haven't uploaded a memorable moment from The Sims in 4 months because I somehow got out of sync. But yeah, as far as choosing the moment itself, it's that. I have them all in a folder from when Dan has made them, and I open one up, and if it makes me laugh, then I'm like, cool, let's do it. There's occasions where I come across ones that I don't particularly find funny, and that's not anything against Dan. He's just making what people have suggested. There's also been times where I didn't think it was funny, and then I watched it again a different time, and I thought it was funny, so maybe it was just a mood thing. So generally, if I find it funny, I post it, and that's how I decide. But there's a few that I've held on to for a while because it's like, I feel kind of lukewarm about them, so I'm like, I don't know. Maybe at some point, some of the ones that I feel lukewarm about will just be combined into a bigger one and post it that way. Mao.
Yeah?
What manga do you own? And Stephen, have you ever read manga?
Trigun Maximum for sure.
You have several manga, don't you? Or you just have Trigun?
I think I just have Trigun now.
What's the one in the closet?
Oh, those are the ones I don't. I have one about ballet that's only 4.
There's a lot of manga in the closet.
There's like 2 series. One is only 4 books long, and the other is like 3
There's a stack
long.
of manga in the closet. I don't know what it is.
It's like 7 books that can't fit on this bookshelf.
But what are they?
One's about ballet, and then I forget the other one. Honestly, I do.
So really not important manga.
Yeah, that's why Trigun's the only one on the shelf.
We have anime too. We have the Trigun anime.
Yeah. Oh, there's also Sailor V over there. Thomas got me those.
Okay.
And Thomas also got me Princess Knight, so I guess that's over there too. I'm remembering.
Is there any other manga that you've read?
Yeah, I've read a lot. Because, like, what would happen in my group of friends in high school when we were all really into anime, like, we would all buy, like, the series we were most interested in, and we'd get a new book and we'd read it, and then we'd, like, pass it around the circle, and, alright, here, you read this one, and we'd kind of, like, switch.
The only manga, seriously, like, the only manga I've ever read, that I can think of, is Dragon Ball. The original Dragon Ball, and I have read almost none of it.
You should read
I've read
because it's very different and very good.
I've read up until like where the Red Ribbon Army show up in Dragon Ball, and that's the only manga I've ever read, I think. If I've read other stuff, I don't remember, but I don't think I have. Next question is from that was from Light 9715, by the way. I don't think I said that. Next question is from Ellie Hart. What are your wedding rings made of, and what stones are in them? I mean, not that people can see very well.
I know, but they're...
Mal's, both of Mal's, are made of platinum, which is a little more expensive, but it's very
durable for what I do.
It's very durable because she works with all sorts of crazy stuff. Mine is palladium, which is like fake platinum.
It's getting more expensive.
Palladium is?
Mm-hmm.
It's... Like, how's palladium generally explained? It's like as strong as platinum, but it's not platinum kind of thing.
I guess.
Something like that.
It's not good for making, like, prongs, I think. I think that's what I remember reading, like the prongs that hold stones. Mm-hmm. I think, like, it's too fragile. I may be wrong. It's been a while.
I have no idea.
It's when we started researching our rings is when I remember
I don't know anything about rings, and I had to get the help of a jeweler to do everything. Also... Your stone, your sapphire, is...
It's a sapphire.
is a sapphire. What's the thing I'm trying to think of? Lab created? It's lab created. I don't know if we've ever shared that, but Mal's sapphire is actually lab created. For one, you don't have to deal with the ethics of where did this gem come from? What child is laying in a ditch somewhere covered in blood? But also, it's really cool
that people can make
you can make perfect gems in a lab, and that's really neat. Yes. It's like science. It's also a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
It's a lot cheaper. You don't have to pay for the
child dead in the ditch.
Yes, you don't have to pay for that. Not only monetarily or with your soul. But yeah, it was created in the lab. It was a lot cheaper because of that. The ring itself, being made of platinum, was a lot more expensive, but yeah, it's lab created because go science. Mao was totally cool with that, and I liked that idea. So yeah.
I did want a round stone, 6-prong Tiffanie mount.
I don't know what any of that means.
Tiffanie mount's like, up like this.
But she had...
And there's 6 little prongs.
She had ideas about what she wanted in a ring, and then I took that to my friend who is a jeweler, and she made that happen. So I was like, cool. Let's do that.
You know what I like about the difference in both of them? My wedding band is comfort fit, so it slides on my finger a lot easier, but my engagement ring isn't.
So it's something you notice.
Yeah.
And I've talked about mine before, but mine I wanted as flat as possible on all the sides. So it's not. It's kind of like a pipe. That's what I've equated it to, like a piece of pipe. It's not rounded in any way whatsoever. And there's been times that because of that, if I jam it on something, I've actually cut my finger because it rams into my finger and it's not rounded, so it hurts really bad.
Really good way to deglove your finger.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Anyway, the next question is from Filipe Rodrigues. Have you ever heard back from Charlotte, the lady you met in the flight to Detroit back in 2008? And the context for those who don't know about Charlotte, you should watch day 573. That's what Filipe posted. So basically, there was I'll give a quick background and you can help me out. Whenever I was going to meet Mao for the first time...
It was only your 3rd time on a plane.
Which was in June 2008. It was the first time I was ever flying alone, and I sat next to a lady named Charlotte, and we just chatted the entire time, and I told her that I was going to meet this girl, and I had never met her before, and Charlotte was like, that seems really crazy, but I would really like it if you let me know how this story turns out. So she gave me her address. So after, I spent the week with Mao and got back home, I decided that I would send Charlotte a letter. So I actually wrote her a short letter.
And you printed pictures?
And I printed out a picture and sent it with it. And I didn't hear back from Charlotte for 3 years. Just didn't hear a thing. And then randomly 3 years later, I got a letter from Charlotte. And I document all this in the vlog. I think there's 2 different vlogs that talk about it. But she got back with me 3 years later. And then I sent her another letter, and then I think she got back to me 3 weeks later. And then I think...
Then she came to visit.
She came to visit.
A sister or aunt or some family member.
And we actually had pizza with her. And after that, I don't think we ever heard of... I think maybe she sent a Christmas card or something once, and we responded back.
I think that was sort of it.
And that was it, and we haven't heard from her since. It's been a few years now. But that's kind of how that story ends. She, like I said, I'm pretty sure she sent a Christmas card or something, but that's been about it, so haven't heard anything past that. Next question is from Rakoner. Mao, how did you get into gardening? Did somebody teach you, or did you learn all by yourself?
Both my parents gardened. My mom was a bit more into flowers, and my dad did vegetables. I don't know. My mom mostly taught me because my dad moving around, he was in some apartments for a while, didn't really get to do any. But I kept a garden, I think maybe 8th grade, 9th grade. I don't remember when I had the garden, but it was 10 by 10 feet. I had tomatoes and squash and beans and peppers.
You've done a really good job gardening since you've been here.
Yeah.
And you've taught me a little bit more about it. You've taught my parents more about it because my parents never gardened, and my mom has a black thumb and just destroys everything. If she gets anywhere near plants,
did good with
they
the
die.
Tulips.
Yeah, she did. But yeah, you know what you're doing.
If I could only get my orchids to bloom again.
Aww.
They need more light. This is not a good window for them.
Yeah, that's what you said it all came down to, is that they were blooming in Colombia.
Yeah.
But they haven't bloomed here because there's not a good spot for them.
They really need eastern light or like pure northern light with like open windows all the time, and we keep ours shut because our computers are there, and we get no eastern light at all, like sunrise.
And that's the reason they haven't bloomed once since we've lived here, have they?
No, but I've gotten a lot of new leaves and a lot of new roots, so they're still alive and doing well. They just don't want to put out flowers.
One day when we move, your flowers...
I'm gonna make sure we have a window for the orchids.
That'll be one of your deciding factors.
Our kitchen window is gonna face east, and it'll be glorious.
The next question is from Zelda Swordman. Stephen, when did you first become interested in the guitar, and do you plan to keep learning? Yeah, that's right. There's like a guitar here.
I play.
Oh yeah, I play the guitar. To be honest, I am so crazy busy that I very rarely pick up the guitar, which is super sad. But it's sad because there's a million other things I'd also like to engage in and just can't because
make music videos.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I would like to do. Write music, make music videos, certainly play music, play the guitar. And I rarely have time because I'm working on so much other stuff. But I first became interested in guitar because my maternal grandfather was a guitar player, and he actually got me a guitar when I was 2, and I still have that guitar. It's an electric PV, and he really wanted someone in the family to play guitar because his daughter, which is my mom, played the piano, and his son, which is my uncle, played drums.
And his wife played...
accordion. The accordion. Yes. So he really wanted someone to play guitar and follow in his footsteps, and he decided when I was born, I was going to be that person. So he got me a guitar, and I started taking lessons, I think when I was 12 or 13, and took lessons for quite a few years, and I did really well at it.
Is the PV the red one?
No.
No. Okay.
PV's black.
Okay.
It's black. I have a few electric guitars, but I think the PV's black.
When did you get this one? Who gave you this one?
That one I bought.
Okay.
That one I bought whenever I started taking guitar lessons, because I think all the guitars I owned up to that point were electric, and I needed an acoustic. Acoustic's a lot harder to play than electric. Just so I can clarify, so no guitar people get mad at me, just because of the distance the strings are from the fretboards, because you have to push it down harder. So yeah, I started playing that, and I did really well. I have no qualms saying that I did really well, and I excelled at it, and it was something I really truly enjoyed, and I still play it from time to time. And occasionally, like, me and Dan will do videos where we're playing music and stuff like that. So it's something I enjoy, and it's something I want to continue at, but I am a busy person, and when I finally get the time, I'll do more with it. But it's something I've just kind of had to sit on for a bit.
Do you want to pick up clarinet?
Nope, not even a little bit. I tried to play that in a vlog once, and
I had a terrible read. That should not cloud your judgment of clarinet.
I think my eyes bugged out. I think that's what happened.
I think you did that digitally.
Nope, it was real. Bloop64 says, Mallory, what is your favorite food item and custard flavor from Culver's?
What I wouldn't give to have a bacon deluxe cheese butter burger with cheese curds and like a raspberry banana shake. What I wouldn't give.
Does that count as custard flavor?
Well,
is custard flavor? Would you say raspberry
flavor?
Yeah.
Like flavor of the day?
Yeah, custard flavor.
I think my favorite flavor of the day is raspberry cheesecake. That was the one I always asked for my birthday, because when you're, well, at least at my store, when you were an employee and it was your birthday, you got a free pint of custard, and you got to pick the flavor for your birthday, so you could always have your favorite one on your birthday.
Culver's is pretty good. I mean, in the realm of fast food, like, it's as a burger, it doesn't beat out like IMO, like real burger, like Five Guys. But in the realm of fast food burgers, it's good. It's good. There are some people who may disagree, Haley, but it's, I mean, it is pretty good.
Other things that are good, lemon ice. You tried the buffalo chicken tenders for the first time this summer. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Fries pretty good.
One of the things I love to get is when I opened the store in the morning and I had to do prep, because I did prep, like where you cut up like the the deli meat for like the turkey sandwiches and stuff, and portion things out, and like chopped tomatoes. You always have to get the soups ready, and whenever I opened prep, I would make potato au gratin soup so I could have it for break in a bread bowl. It was another one of my favorite things.
You worked at Culver's for a while.
I got a job there in freshman year of high school, and I worked there a little bit into college. I think I was like a month shy of 5 years. Because our name tags, we got little stars on them, and I was like so close to getting the 5-year star.
I mean, it's okay that you didn't get the 5-year star.
I know.
Maybe we'll go back sometime and get that 5-year star.
Maybe.
Maybe.
No, I won't. There's none here.
The last question on the list is something that Mao insisted, and I don't know what it is. It's from PkStarc, and it says, can you both do the whip and nay-nay?
Now watch me whip and nay-nay. Now watch me whip.
I don't know what that is. I guess from what you're saying, it's a dance. How do you do it?
It's like the Soulja Boy dance. In fact, that's in there, I think. No, it's... No, you gotta...
Oh!
Stop, you need to whip. You need to whip. Nay, nay.
What is it?
You need to like whip your head.
Whip?
And then nay, nay.
Ooh. Now watch me go to the doctor.
You need to nay-nay.
Oh, is it whip because of whiplash?
I think so.
Oh, so that makes sense.
See, if I had known we were going to do this question, I would have asked my students today to teach me.
So, yeah. I don't know how you already know this much. Wait, do you do a fist or you do...
I don't know. I think people make it up. And I know nay-nay is like rockin'. Like...
Whip, nay-nay.
No, it's like a you get higher. Not that high.
Sorry. What, are you waving?
You like rock?
Is this a queen wave?
Rock and then you like twist your arm. I think.
Now loyal subjects, watch me whip and watch me nay-nay. Watch me whip and watch me nay-nay. Is that what the queen sounds like? I've never heard her speak. I'm actually not convinced she's still alive. I think she's been alive. I think she's been a robot for a long time. Have you seen her speak? Have you seen her and a robot in the same room? I rest my case. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the September Q&A. This has been a long one because we actually had more questions than we normally answer, but there's a lot of good questions. If you asked a question last month and it didn't get answered this month, I would urge you to reapply because there was a lot of good ones, and I would like to see some of the ones we didn't answer asked again so we could answer them. Or if you got something new you want to ask, go ahead. Now, in July, I said that we would be getting to the next one really soon, and it took a while because we've been busy with stuff, but...
You went some places.
We went some places. Yeah, I did. That's coming up. You guys will like it. So go ahead and ask stuff, and we will probably be getting to the next Q&A pretty soon, because I won't be going out of town for a while. I was out of town for a while. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time, which is probably pretty soon, for another Q&A. Watch me, nay-nay.